We're Brianna and Derek. In May 2020, we bought and converted the Sprinter van that we've been traveling around in full-time for the last 3 months. After leaving our home in southern Ontario, we drove all the way across the country, through and into northern Ontario, the flatlands of Manitoba and Saskatchewan, right through the stunning scenery that is the Rocky Mountains, before making it to beautiful British Columbia. Previous to buying the van, we had no idea what we were doing. Just 2 kids with a dream to travel, but we made it happen through lots of research and endless nights of YouTube videos. After being in the van for a few months now, we thought we'd contribute some of our knowledge to all the videos that we binged in the beginning. Welcome to the More You Know series. Hey guys, what's up? This week we're going to talk to you about 10 things that we want to alter inside our van.
We really love our van, but after 3 months being in here, there's just a few things we want to change.
Yeah, so let's head inside and check them out. Welcome to the ground. This is where our small fridge is located, and when building, we didn't really think about accessibility of the fridge. So because our fridge is so small, we basically have to lay on the ground to get in it. And having such a small fridge, we also have a lot less storage than would like. So we have to get groceries about every 2 to 3 days, I would say. So just as accessibility purposes, you know, this is usually me half the time looking in the fridge, and it's my job because I'm smaller compared to Derek. So it would be really nice to have a fridge up a little higher, and that way we can see everything at eye level.
All this natural light sure is great when the doors are open, but on those cold, rainy days when you need to keep them closed, a window sure would be nice. Just a bit more difficult afterwards once you have your walls up, the wires are hidden behind it. It's harder to exactly pinpoint where that window is going to go and how it's going to fit in. So one thing's really important, to make sure you know exactly where you want windows to go in before you start your build.
Welcome to our bench space. Now the issue here is that when we made the bench, we didn't account for the proper depth when the back cushion is on. We did have a back cushion made, but we found that after adding those 2 inches of back cushion, our legs were hanging too far off the bench. So right now, obviously it's not here, we didn't bring it with us. But then if you sit back like a normal bench, it's just not as comfy. So one thing we would alter is just changing the depth a little bit to make it more comfortable, and then we can add the future cushion.
One thing I really wish we thought about before this build was the depth of our over-sink cabinet. It's fine normally, but when you're doing dishes, this is usually how I end up doing them. Not exactly ideal for a tall human.
But it works for me.
Guess you're on dish duty.
One thing that bothers me specifically is the location of our faucet. So when we were originally planning, obviously we want the faucet in the center of the sink, but dimensions changed with the bed and everything got pushed back a little bit. So we had to put the faucet in the corner, which I don't really love, and then the outlets and everything got moved as well with the changes. So this whole sink electrical outlet location, I would like to change and have everything centered and a little bit moved over, but what can you do?
Another thing we wish we changed about our build is the quality of our wall paneling. We chose some cheap, readily available, good one side. It's about a 1/4 inch thick, and quite frankly, it just doesn't hold anything. Any wall hangings we want to hold up, we have to make sure that we hit exactly into one of the studs because the wall just isn't strong enough. In the future, we probably would go with what a lot of other people do, which is shiplap. But for now, I think we're just going to have to find those studs wherever we can.
The next thing we would change is the setup of our grate tank. So right now, under our sink, we have a 20-liter jug, pretty much, And the way that we have to empty it when it's full is unscrew the hose and then lift it out. Now, this is not my job because I cannot lift it, it's too heavy. This is Derek's job, or a blue job as he likes to call it. So it's really heavy. It just sucks because if Derek's not around and it's full, it's really hard for me to empty it myself. So we're just trying to come up with a better way to store the gray water or dump it without having to lift this heavy tank every single time. So if you guys have any ideas of a better way to empty your gray tank, please let us know. Our toilet. This is another thing that at least I use a lot, but for a little kitty Neil here, he doesn't like when I hold it, we have his litter box. So basically we have a little hole under here where Neil's litter box is, but the issue is that in order to reach our toilet, this comes off and we have to pull the litter box out and then in turn pull out our toilet, which is stored tucked back in there. So for the odd time that we use it, it's not horrible, but you know, when it's hard to find a bathroom or anything, it's just another step how to access it. So that was definitely something that we would change, maybe pull it on drawer slides or something and just make it a little bit easier for us to get at.
We love taking advantage of warm days and warm water and using our outdoor shower as much as possible. However, one thing we would change is the type of hot water tank that we have. We have a 15-liter tank water heater and it runs off of 120 volt AC power. One thing with this is that it draws a crap ton of energy. So I think next time we would either go with some type of hydronic heater along with our diesel tank, or switch into something like a propane tank heater. But overall, I just don't think our electrical system can handle this, especially come winter time. The next thing I'd love to change is how we access our garage. Something like drawer slides would make our lives way easier, because currently, in order for me to get to our winter stuff, I have to take off our bags, throw those up, move our tools out of the way, pull out our tool bed,
which is really heavy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And finally, access our winter storage somehow. If we had these on some sort of 500-pound drawer slides, it would make our lives so much easier.
All right, I think that wraps up all of the things we would like to change and alter in our van.
If you guys have any ways to fix these that we haven't already thought of, please let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yes. So some of these things, obviously everyone's priorities are different, but these are just some of the things. Obviously hindsight 2020, when you're building your van for the first time, all you can do is research, but you don't really know until you're living in the space. So hopefully these help you a little bit, things to think about while you're doing your own build. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.